Hey everybody, happy Monday to you. We're doing part 5 of this Galactus set. I'm going to go over and post this on the page real quick. And it's going to be Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. So we have that going on today. And we're going to have some fun with this one and knock it out real quick. Making some adjustments here to my screen so that I can see everything. And yeah, this is my style, so it's going to look a little odd in places, a little different, from the typical Fantastic Four stuff you see, but it's going to work out. Just hang with me. But yeah, I'm having a blast doing this one. And this little series here we're working on, I'll let something in the office with me when I move some stuff around and let the dog out. But anyway, yeah, it's a cool series. I'm really, really digging it. It's been a lot of fun, and the YouTube following is getting crazy about this one. It's just nuts. I've been getting all kinds of messages and stuff. You got to put this up on YouTube. You got to put it up on the channel. You're behind. And I'm going to do that tomorrow so everybody can see all this fun stuff. But yeah, it's crazy, man. I can't believe I'm pushing card number what is it? Card 170, I think it is. I put a little gap in there and did not line it out because I put the refrigerator teeth thing in there and I was going to do the mouth open like that. That's what we were going to do. But anyway, I've been getting a lot of requests for posting this stuff online in other places, in my other social media, and I finally caught up so I can do that. Got a couple more things going out, but I've got my friend Lowry's character package, which I'm doing for him, and I'm going to do a big 11x17 for him here soon, and I've got the covers and stuff to catch up on still, which I've been saving those back for you guys here on YouTube and for Facebook, and that's one of the big things that everybody keeps asking me about. It's you keep doing these lives on Facebook, but you're not posting like on regular basis and stuff, and I'm just like, sorry. So shout out to the people on YouTube and that have been missing out. You got to come to the Facebook page. That's what you guys are getting it for. Come hang out. That's part of it. I'm not going to neglect my Facebook fans for, everybody that wants to go on YouTube and see it, later and whatnot. It's not an on-demand service, so check it out live and see what's going on to catch up. So, it's here on my page. But, yeah, I'm trying to catch up for everybody. Like I said, this week has been very hectic. This last weekend was catch up. And now that I've done that, I've got to get one or two more things out. And then I've got the Kickstarter coming up on Thursday. I gave you guys notice that I would do something right about the 15th to let you know when it's going to be out. I'm releasing the preview on that on Thursday afternoon, so you guys will be able to get into that. I wanted to add some cool content to it, and I just got the proofs back for the t-shirts, and I've got some t-shirts going on for a couple of different resources, and that's going to be phenomenal. But you're going to have to get out there and get, you're going to have to bid up for that one. I'm just telling you, those things are expensive. And to join in, you're going to have to, kind of pay the dues, as it were, if that's something you're interested in. But, it is what it is, so we're trying to mark on through that. But I'm not trying to make money off of this stuff. I want to build up my Kickstarter and prove the fact that, it's not completely corrupt and that people can still make a project through it legitimately. And like I said, I'm not trying to get rich off of it. I don't need to do that. But I do want to see the support, because I'm tired of, not going to go on a tangent or anything, but I'm tired of Kickstarters getting burned, because of the fact of direct sales, and that's not what that platform's for. So if you're doing direct sales on it, shame on you. I'm going to call you out flat out. I'm not one to normally bicker with people, but if you're making direct sales on it, shame on you, because you're screwing the platform if you are, because that's not what that's for. And if you're buying comics direct sale for it and supporting that mess, same to you. I'm sorry, I've got no time for you, because of the fact that that's one of those things that's ripping people off. You should be building business to build, because you want to build up the subscriptions and build up the book and build up funds to afford to be able to do a couple of issues, not tear people down and make them get ripped off because you want to buy a comic book at dirt cheap and see them do a couple of 100 copies and say that that's legitimately published, because it's not. So don't support that stuff. I'm being an advocate of that. If you disagree, that's because you're making direct sales, and again, shame on you for doing that, because that's not what that platform's for. That platform is an investment platform. Crowdfunding is to get the book produced and get it out there to where you can afford to do what you want to do and love to do, not to direct sale buy the product. That's the reason it's donations and awards for helping that and sponsoring that and supporting that, and not funding that as directly. You're not buying the comic book, and people are abusing that platform to do that. And I'm a little bit on the tired side of seeing people get ripped off, because I hear from independent creators all the time, we can't do our book because we can't get a Kickstarter because the funding won't come through, because everybody says they don't want to buy a $5 comic book, but yet they'll buy a $5 comic book to get the comic book from you directly. And I'm sorry, but $300, 300 sales of a 99-cent comic is not going to work when, it's going to be in print in stores and has to be paying the dues for the cast, for the team, the creative team that takes care of it. And if you're not going to sponsor that, then you're really not backing those people up. And for the creators that are falling for that, understand you're being cheated. If you're losing money on it, and you're giving up, $20 worth of stuff for someone to pay you $5, you're screwing yourself. So don't do that. But my campaign is going to be different, because I plan on giving good value for it, but I don't plan on, screwing the pooch, as it were. And I'm sorry if the kids are listening for that. No offense to them, but for the language. But this is something that's got to stop. So I'm doing this set. It's going to be a premiere set with my Kickstarter, and whoever gets the bid will get. This is going to be a major piece, and whoever gets this set gets the whole thing, not just a piece of it, the whole thing. You'll get Galactus, you'll get the 4 Heralds, and you'll get the 4 Fantastic Four members. And if you're willing to bid for that and donate for that at that level, that will be the reward that I give you for it. I'm not going to be busting up some of these sets. Some of them will be massive. Some of them will be smaller. Some of them will be individual. And if you don't get the one you want, I'm sorry. I'm making it worthwhile for the people that invest in the books that I'm putting out. And if you want to be a Kickstarter funder, as it were, if that's not a word, it should be, then, if you're not a Kickstarter supporter and you don't want to pay the fee to get the card that you want, you're just not meant to have it. And that's okay too. But, I'm tired of seeing guys go off and, hey, I got my stuff funded. And, well, what'd you get out of it? Well, I got, enough money to make this comic book cover for 300 copies at print on demand through Kablam or, whatever outlet you figure out works. Well, what profit did you make to pay your team? Well, we didn't make any money on this one, but we'll make some money on the next one. Well, no, you won't. Not through Kickstarter and not that way. I want to cover the cost of my colorist and get the book out there. That's the whole point of crowdfunding, is to help you get the book completed so that it can make the market, not to buy direct sales at 300 copies a piece. And if you guys are doing that, like I said, shame on you, because you're ripping the system off. And, you know, if you disagree, like I said, that's your problem and your fault for doing that. And that's guilt coming back to bite you in the butt because you feel guilty about it. So, but I'm telling you hands down, don't cheat the system. I see stuff on there all the time that makes great money, millions and millions of dollars in money. And there are select people that don't support it because of the fact that they decide not to, because they think, oh, well, I'm not going to buy into comics because of that. Well, you're cheating the system, and you're cheating our industry for that crowdfunding approach. So anyway, that being said, stop cheating the system. I just went round and round with a couple of people over that this morning because they decided to tell me that, you know, well, you're putting out your Kickstarter and you're telling people to stop buying books. Well, that's funny. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want to kill the fun here, because that's not what this is about. But, you know, my first comic book collection, not my first comic book itself, but my first collection was a series stack of Fantastic Four books. I ended up getting these by mistake. I got them at a flea market, and they were in a box of books that I bought for, I think, like I said, I mentioned it in one of my other casts. I think I had like $20 or something, and this lady and this older gentleman had these books, and they belonged to their son. And I bought them up, and they let me have them for dirt cheap. And it was crazy, the books that I got in that. And the first series that I got hooked into was the Fantastic Four. And I was already a huge fan anyway, because I had grown up watching the syndication of the Hanna-Barbera Fantastic Four cartoons in replay. And I loved that series. I still do, till this day, it still holds up. I really, I mean, it's got the camp of the 60s drama, but I still love that series. Granted, I wasn't old enough to watch it when it was new, but I got to see it, you know, throughout the 80s when Hanna-Barbera had all their stuff in syndication and replay and all that. And it would play on Saturday mornings where I lived in Texas. And it played on a couple of different channels down there. And, yeah, I really dug the whole setup, the whole family dynamic behind the Fantastic Four. But like I said, I've mentioned this in other videos too, so, you know, other sections of the lives. But yeah, this is phenomenal. I'm so glad to get into this, and I wanted to hold off on it right up until before the Kickstarter because of that. I wanted to make this really special because these are, you know, they're underrated for one. The Fantastic Four is extremely underrated. And I love the idea of being able to bring it to life and make it pop off and come out in my style where it's animated and just high end. And I know that I'm not the greatest artist out there, but what I'm saying is highly dynamic, okay? I don't mean to say that it's high end as in, you know, I'm the guy. I'm not like that, and you know that. But what I do like to do is bring this stuff to life in a different way and bring my perspective to it. And that's what makes it so cool and fun, is because of the fact that, you know, it's a different approach. That's with all of these cards. And specifically with these characters, I love this stuff. And I don't know if you guys saw the Ben Grimm that I did, I don't know, a little while back. I did a huge Ben Grimm picture that I was just tampering with my my Copics and things like that, and I just wanted to, you know, put it out there and hang out with it and see how it went. And it was a beautiful piece. It was fun, classic Ben Grimm style. huge stance, just a hulking stance coming up towards the viewer, just straight up full body. And whenever it came out together, I had a young lady that wanted to buy it from me right off the bat, and I was not expecting that, but it gave me an idea that I was doing something right, with the whole thing of Ben and the perspective of the thing, because whenever I put it all together, I hadn't drawn the Fantastic Four for probably, I don't know, a good 10, 15 years. And I mean that literally. I mean, I've done, sketches here and there, and I've colored a lot of pieces that from other artists, from friends and stuff, and that's different. That's different. What I'm talking about is actually drawing the Fantastic Four characters. I don't draw them very often, and it's due to the respect of the characters, because I had a long time anxiety and issue about drawing those characters, because I wanted them to hold up with what I was influenced by and what fun I had when I was a kid. And a lot of artists do that. I found out a lot of artists do that. And in my marketing, I have a high-end anxiety that I just recently got over, because of the fact of the same thing, that I wouldn't share a lot of stuff publicly, because of the fact that I didn't want to be in the limelight, and I'm not comfortable there. But doing this card series has helped me do that. And drawing the Fantastic Four is one of those things. Now I'm all excited about the set and ready to rock and roll with it. And since I held off, now I feel more confident than I ever have before about drawing it, and I'm just knocking it smooth out. As you can see, no qualms about it. It is what it is. It's going to come out the way it wants to, and you guys are going to dig it or you're not, and that's okay. I don't have to please everybody. I want to please as many of you guys as I can. But just like yesterday, everybody wanted to do the Fallen one for the Fourth Herald, and I decided to go with Airwalker instead. Well, the reason for that choice was because of the fact that I want it to be set up to where these cards reflect the nostalgia, as well as the grace and just overall power that Marvel used to have pre-Disney dismantle. That's what I'm calling it, the dismantling via Disney now. And they're not the same as they once were. And I'm not saying that that's not an age thing, from the perspective of, well, you're just old now and you got to get this going on and whatnot. And no, that's not the case at all. I'm not being like one of those guys that's going to rant about it because, they changed my Marvel. No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they lost the luster from Marvel to the extent to where